Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Ron and Krystal. Hi, Krystal. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you too. All right. So this is a massive winter storm coming up. We better talk about it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most of the country is going to feel some of the impacts. So we're going to look through like some of the maps of the track for the whole country. People that have flights this weekend, good luck.
No kidding. Okay. We're going to go through all of that for you. We got some other really big stories this morning. Shannon Bream, I asked her point blank, so what exactly is the deal with Greenland after everything that happened in Davos? So it's all coming up. Hope you can hang out with us for, well, the whole 2 hours possibly. Here we go in about 30 seconds. It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talks. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ron Hoon. I'm taking the specs off and inviting you to hang out with us. If you have just discovered us, which we have new people joining every day, this is 2 hours of information and conversation on the big stories of the morning and the pictures that are coming in. Imagine the patience of neighbors in this area and, frankly, the police. Over and over and over, they get called out to this home, and finally, yesterday, in one part of the valley, they take action, and as one neighbor lady said, finally, those animals are safe. Apparently, it was, if you ask me, this is one of the worst looking houses we have seen in a long time of covering, and we got that story coming up for you as well. Also today, we are going to be talking about this truck, a Dollar General truck. I feel so bad for this driver. What in the heck were you doing on the Apache Trail? There are no Dollar General stores out on the Apache Trail. That's State Route 88. It's windy, it's curvy, half of it's like a dirt road, but we've got the pictures. We're going to dig into that one as well. Now, the poll question is fascinating today. 2 days in a row, and one of the great political websites is reporting on a possible kind of a push for another prominent Arizona name that some people in the Democratic Party are really looking at as a possible presidential contender in 2028. Remember, yesterday was Mark Kelly. Grab the QR code if you want to let us know about your opinion. Today it's Ruben Gallego, kind of a fresh face in the United States Senate. He's certainly well known from his time in the House, but grab the code. What do you think? Would he be a good option for president? You see those numbers moving as we speak. 16% say, yeah, he'd be a good option. I'd vote for him. 75% are saying no, and not to Mark Kelly from yesterday. We need somebody to continue Trump's policies. 9% are saying, you know what? There's not a single candidate I'm excited about so far. So you can grab the QR code and let us know. But on to, and by the way, most importantly, don't let me forget, Krystal is coming up in 2 minutes. They are telling millions of people to get ready for this storm and be prepared for power to be out for days. And imagine in some of the coldest weather we've seen so far this season. But anyhow, let's get right into this story. Coming in from one neighborhood in the valley, the video is just shocking, just horrific conditions in Peoria. And now we learn that neighbors called over and over. Some of the talk about what they were dealing with just in terms of the stench, and the police are being called out time after time. A matter of fact, here is exactly what one neighbor was saying.
Smell was bad. Really? Every time we walk our dogs, we just have to close our nose. It's like a dead body in there. I was crying yesterday. I was shivering. I saw babies. I saw puppies in a crate, and I was crying. I told my daughter, finally, these dogs are saved.
60 dogs, and by the way, Sky Fox flew right overhead, and there's the backyard. The backyard looks bad, but it's the pictures from inside that are so shocking. And as I say, one of the quotes was, finally we know these pets, these animals in a hoarding situation are safe. apparently the homeowner was at one time cooperating with police. Between 2023 and 2024, 40 dogs had to be removed. And yet, it's right back to this same kind of, a lot of times there's like a mental illness involved. And so finally, police did take action yesterday, and I'm sure there's a big sigh of relief on the part of folks in that neighborhood in Peoria. And the other thing I wanted to mention, Peoria PD say they're going to hold a community drive so people can donate dog food. We'll stay on top of that story as well. By the way, Syleste will be here in a couple of minutes. We're keeping her chair warm. But Krystal joins right now. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Okay, so is this... every once in a while, it looks like, this is going to be a really bad storm, and then it kind of peters out. This time around, it looks like it's the real deal across, 35 to 40 states?
Yeah, it's pretty much like 2/3 of the country that are going to be doing some kind of wintry weather, including us. We're actually kind of like the catalyst. We're the starter. We're testing out this storm system before it really flourishes around the rest of the country. But yeah, this does not look like it's going to fall apart. It's been in the forecast models for like a week already. People were going crazy even a week ago saying, oh my gosh, look what's going to happen. And now we're getting closer and closer to the event actually occurring. So these are the current wind chills. There's two things at play. First off, there's a super cold air mass, a trough of cold air that has dropped down from Canada. So all the ground is primed for snow and ice, right? Because we're colder than normal. I mean, you can see on the map here, the wind chills are down into the 20s and 30s as far south as like OKC, Albuquerque, what we've got, Nashville at 39. Northern Arizona is quite chilly this morning as well.
Renee, her sister lives in Albuquerque, and they have chickens. They raise chickens in their backyard. They have a whole chicken coop, and she's worried about them. So I got to figure something out here
because
it's going to be way colder than we're used to.
Yeah, so you've got that aspect at play. And then to couple with it, we've got this storm system that's pulling actually a good bit of like what would be more like, mid-latitude, like tropical kind of moisture that is dragging up and into first us in Arizona. It's actually going to move over the Baja in Mexico and then run over southern Arizona. And then it kind of absorbs into the general weather pattern and turns into this monster storm. So there's the cold air that I was just talking about. And if we use our futurecast to move forward, the wind chills are just like brutal overnight. You can see the wind chill down to 12 tomorrow morning in Dallas, 0 in Denver, 3 in Memphis. I mean, these are spots that typically are not that cold. I mean, look at New York, 5 below, Cincinnati, 4 below. And then even as the day goes on tomorrow, that's the afternoon. Dallas is at 6 for the wind chill, 26 in Albuquerque, 25 Salt Lake. I mean, Charlotte's down to 25. So a huge chunk of the country is really cold.
Well, they're really going to be in the spotlight. I believe the name of the power authority there is ERCOT. And remember, I think it was 5 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago.
5 years.
They couldn't handle it. They had an ice storm, and it was just a disaster.
Yeah, and ERCOT's done, from what I understand, a lot of work since then to not have that repeat itself. But in terms of it being concerns of ice and snow, similar in that thought process that Texas is kind of in the line of sight for some really, big ice accumulation or accretion, as we call it, and snow accumulation as well. So everywhere in like the south to eastern part of the country is under winter storm alerts. And then everywhere in the north, which is like the light and deep blues you see, are under cold weather alerts for cold that is so cold that it can be dangerous to be outdoors. So that's what I was saying, like 2/3 of the country basically are under some kind of winter weather alerts because of the storm.
And the other thing I was going to mention, the airlines have already announced that they're going to be offering waivers, but just already the pictures of the snow that we've seen over the last few weeks, and yet in this storm, it's really not the snow they're the most worried about.
It's the ice. Yeah. I mean, having lived up in the mid-Atlantic states, I lived in Philadelphia for 6 years. Snow is a hassle. Snow can cause car accidents. Sure, snow needs to be plowed, but ice causes dangerous problems. I mean, cars slip and slide. You get those huge pile-up accidents. Tree branches can snap. Power poles can snap if you get too much, accretion on the lines. So that's where there's a bigger issue, is when you start to get worried about sleet to an extent, but more so the freezing rain aspect.
And that's probably why there's a lot of areas that are there's concern of loss of power in a lot of those
exactly.
cities, right?
When you get a large enough amount of ice, literally like encapsulating things like tree branches, it makes it so heavy that they snap, then they take down power poles, and then you've got communities that are in the middle of extremely cold weather without heat. So a much bigger problem is if there's ice accumulation. That's always the wild card, winter forecasting big storms like this is how much ice are you actually going to get, because that has to do with the different levels of the atmosphere and what temperature it is at different levels of the atmosphere. So it's very difficult to forecast, which is why they always err on the side of caution of saying, like, we need to prepare for this, because if it doesn't happen, great. But if it does, we need to be ready for it. And this certainly looks like the possibility, in part because this is an area of low pressure that's coming from like the south. So this is warmer air and moisture, but it's colliding with a super cold air mass. So the low to the south of us is what's helping drive moisture in Arizona today and tomorrow, giving us scattered rain and snow shower chances. The low to the north of us is kind of diving down with the colder air, and then they combine into this, they kind of, ingest basically into the big weather machine. So by the time we get to this is tomorrow night, notice the pinks on this futurecast. That's where there's the potential of sleet and freezing rain or ice. Texas, Oklahoma, into Arkansas, Louisiana, as well as upstretching into parts of the Carolinas. The blue purples are snow areas, obviously a huge swath of that. This is Sunday morning, and then this is Sunday afternoon into the night as it moves up into New England. So, I mean, just so many people are prepping for wintry conditions as this rolls through. And the big concern, is going to be the possibility of the ice accretion or the accumulation of ice of, in some areas, up to a half an inch in diameter, which if you get that amount, you definitely start to see problems. When I was in Philly, if we even got a few hundredths of an inch of ice or a tenth of an inch of accumulating ice, oh my gosh, the sidewalks are basically impossible to walk on. If you have stairs outside, forget it.
Yeah.
It's a mess. Even your car. I remember one time when I lived in Philly, my door handle was ice frozen shut to my door.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so you had to crack that so you could even get your door handle open, and then had to crack it off the windshield.
So are you carrying like a few tools in your bag?
Yes, when I first moved
like a
there,
blowtorch, maybe.
Basically, yeah. When I first moved there, I didn't have anything, and someone was like, "Girl, you better invest in a brush and a scraper." And I was like, "I guess I do need to do that, don't I?"
Yeah.
So that can be a mess, and the best outcome would actually be that there's less ice and either more snow or cold rain.
So, Krystal, we have a quick question here from Here's Johnny. He says, we don't get these big, wide, deep very often with polar vortexes. How often has there been this large, of a storm that we've seen like across the country?
Sure. I mean, it's not impossible for this to happen. It's pretty common that each winter you'll have like one or two like big winter storms that make the headlines. They don't always drive this far south, as he's pointing out.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I don't know the statistics as to how often it happens, but like you pointed out, 5 years ago was that big massive storm that impacted Texas. I know because folks had a hard time getting to my wedding, which was almost exactly 5 years ago.
Oh, is that right?
My husband has a lot of family in Texas, and a lot of them were stuck. They lost power, their pipes burst, there was no airlines to get out.
Yeah. Were they still able to send gifts? I mean,
they did still send the gifts. Thank goodness.
That panini maker, that's a winner.
So I thought real quickly we would at least walk through the details of our local forecast as well. There's been some patchy rain and snow showers already out there, but it has been patchy and light so far. In the valley, we'll continue with some like light sprinkly stuff throughout today, and into this evening, we could see a bit more scattered shower activity. It should start to cut off by the early morning hours of Saturday, and then it looks like there'll be a lull. But in the afternoon, as a front passes through, there will be the possibility of kind of a shorter-lived afternoon spell of showers or even a few thunderstorms. For Flagstaff, some light patchy rain to snow is possible throughout today. As we go overnight and into tomorrow, we will continue with the possibility of some rounds or like bands of snow. They could be a little steadier, and this is where we could pick up, say, like 1 to 2 inches of snow in Flagstaff. Really, our top mountain areas like Sunrise Snowball, that's where you could see the 6+ inches of snow accumulate, especially in the White Mountains.
Oh, by the way, before we wrap up, you got a snowy picture you want to show us from somewhere?
Oh, yeah. Do we have REM 44 somewhere?
Yeah, let me see. Is that, I don't even know which button is REM 44.
Oh, it's a mystery camp.
There you go.
Oh,
look how pretty. Isn't that so gorgeous?
It is very pretty.
Their wind chill's like probably 20 below or something crazy, but...
And look, they're driving like champs down this main street.
Well, I was just in Michigan earlier this week, and it was snowing while we were there, and people did not seem fazed by it. Good for them.
Thank you, Krystal.
Yep.
All right, so we have moved on from that snowy village in Michigan to another snowy spot. So much of the country is dealing with this. This is your mystery cam. So Troy is jumping in saying Michigan. This could very well also be Michigan.
It could.
But yeah, the earlier picture was just to sort of say goodbye to Krystal. But take a look at it. What do you suppose these gigantic green boxes are all about, Celeste?
I don't know. It looks like they're covered with some sort of a bag or protector, right?
Yes.
That little sign there. What does that sign say, I wonder?
Ooh, would be a good clue.
It looks like a little village or something, like a compound, Ron. Yes. Maybe a school or something. What? Okay, Ron got up to go take a closer look at that. So you keep guessing in there. Maine says Little Philosophy. Montana says O'Shea, Lauren 44. And Little Philosophy. Good morning, buddy. Good to see you in here. So we have Catherine Malone, Ron.
Yes.
I said, there's some new names. I think Burger Boys was another name that I hadn't recognized.
We love our new chatters.
Oh, it's Chef Nick.
Yeah, sure.
So we're glad that you guys are here. But Catherine, I said, are you new? And she goes, no, just working my little booty away. She's just working.
So great.
We got Wisconsin from Halakita. I think I'm going to go with it's sunny.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go I'll go with a Wisconsin with Halakita. What are you going to go with, Ron?
I think, I'm sort of wondering, there's a parking lot over there. I wonder if there's a lake nearby, and these are like little huts that people maybe have all wrapped up for the winter. Who knows? But yeah, I think Wisconsin is a good guess, but I think I'm going to jump over to Michigan.
Michigan. Okay.
Here we go.
Here is your mystery camera answer, and it is Frankenmuth, Michigan.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's Frankenmuth.
Nice work.
Now, it's a kind of a Bavarian village. You wouldn't be able to tell it from this angle, but if you've ever heard of Leavenworth, Washington, which is a Bavarian town, this is kind of what it looks like without the gigantic Cascade Mountains right next to them.
Frankenmuth.
Yeah,
I was going to pull it up and see what it... Oh, my gosh, it's the cutest little place.
Oh, see, I knew you'd like it.
Oh, my gosh. And they got a little ferry, a riverboat, Bavarian glass riverboat.
Okay.
Wow, this has got to be on our bucket list in the summertime.
Sure. Okay, so anyway, thank you all for your guesses. Now, we are going to transition from that to this. This is desert driving, and I just feel so bad for this truck driver, Celeste.
Oh, no.
Because this is the SR-88, which around here we call it the Apache Trail, and you don't see them as much as you used to, but there used to be bumper stickers that said, "Pray for me, I drive the Apache Trail."
Yes.
And there's no Dollar General up there around, Apache Lake? Or whatever. But this poor guy, I'm sure it was his GPS that told him to go that way.
I mean, maybe. It's so crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, and he's driving this huge semi, and it looks like most of these roads are either covered in dirt or they're, maybe there's some storms that came through or something. I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah. So it was 2 days. The old SR-88 was shut down. This is the part of the road where it gets really dicey. I mean, you got Fish Creek Hill that is, you can fear for your life as you're coming down that road. But yeah, he just got a little bit stuck. It took him a couple of days. ADOT helped out. As you can see, they brought in the heavy equipment, and all's well that ends well.
So I pulled up Arizona Dollar General locations.
Oh, good.
There isn't one anywhere nearby. So maybe he was looking to head to Roosevelt Lake, or maybe maybe he packed a sandwich and he wanted a picnic out by the lake.
I don't know about you, but I hope that we have the occasional Dollar General truck drivers who maybe pack a fishing pole in the rig. And they're like, hey, I got 4 hours before my next delivery. I'm going up and do some fishing.
Maybe that's where he was headed.
Who knows,
my
right?
Goodness. We don't see that every day, though.
No, we sure don't.
Oh, brother.
In the meantime, this is a serious situation. This is what happened this morning. In fact, they're still working on trying to get the situation cleared. There was a really bad crash.
Yeah.
It turned out there was a dead body there. But this is how our Troy Barrett reported on it a little while ago this morning. And again, it's all still shut down as a result.
We're starting to see folks, as far as traffic is concerned, being routed through the neighborhoods here. The police officers do have, like you mentioned, all directions, 51st Avenue and Peoria, north and south, east and west, all shut down around this crash here at this intersection. I'll take you over just real quick and show you that crash scene. We have 2 vehicles involved there, and that investigation is happening right now. But you can see the police do have the entire intersection shut down. But we'll move you to 51st Avenue here. These folks are trying to head north, but they're getting routed into the neighborhood here and trying to make their way back over to parts of Peoria so they can head back to the west and kind of get around this. Anyone heading eastbound on Peoria, looks like a lot of folks are trying to get through this shopping plaza here and making their way over to 51st Avenue. But part of the problem here is that just 1 mile down the road, there's another police scene at 51st and Cactus where you're not going to be able to get through. So these folks are kind of trapped right now. They're going to have to come back and figure out how to get through, because there is a big canal there that is preventing people from going through the neighborhood and accessing Cactus. So right now, your best bets are going to be Thunderbird or Olive to get around this east and west, 59th Avenue, or even 43rd north and south.
So there is the report. And Troy, we get him launched up there in the skies. He does a really good job of, giving you the lay of the land here. But because it's a fatality, they were saying be prepared for it to be restricted or closed for the entire morning.
My goodness. Yeah. Our thoughts and prayers are with that person. I mean, it's just a heartbreaking story, Ron. You leave in the morning. Yeah. You think you're on your way to work or on your way to go run an errand that early or do something, and next thing you know.
Yeah. And who knows? Was it distracted driving? Was it a red light runner? We'll learn a lot more about it here. Yeah. But we're going to transition now, because every Friday, Shannon Bream, Fox News Sunday.
Yes.
I think she only hangs out with like 5 or 6 TV stations.
And we're one of them.
We are one of them. Here's what she had to say when we were chatting this morning. Shannon Bream, the host of Fox News Sunday. Hi, Shannon.
Good to see you, Ron.
Good to see you, too, as always. So what exactly happened this week on Greenland? It seemed like we went from we need it, we need to own it, to not owning it, but now the president is saying, but we can do whatever we want. What's going on?
You know the president drives a hard bargain, and so he's going to start way out at this extreme and then end up where the White House is now celebrating what they got. I think everybody breathed this sigh of relief when the president in that Davos speech said, we're not going to use military force, we're not going to take over Greenland. So what we know, and the very basics that we know at this point, are that Denmark will retain sovereignty over Greenland, but the U.S. is going to have a much more expanded presence. They're going to have much more of a say, we understand, with bases, with possible Golden Dome over the Arctic area, with access to rare earth minerals. And the president says this is a very, very long-term deal. He feels good about it, but devil's always in the details.
Yeah, I wonder if it means we're going to build a lot more bases up there, and perhaps almost like cities that would go along with the bases to, kind of make it all work together. I wonder if that's where it's headed. I don't know.
Well, it could be. I mean, one of the things that's been floated here in Washington is that it's going to be a lot like the UK presence in Cyprus, a small area, small island, and yet the UK has very big bases, a very big presence there, and that we're told is kind of going to be the model for what happens with Greenland if this all works out.
Funny enough, I was in Davos a week ago. Bad timing, I know, because there was nobody there yet.
But, maybe that's a good time to go.
Yeah, it was actually great. It was kind of cool walking around. Anyway, tell us more about what they're calling about this Board of Peace. What's the real idea behind it?
Well, it sounded like at its inception it was going to be about reconstruction with Gaza, really trying to find stability for that region. And you'll see a lot of the early countries that were invited and that signed on seem to be connected to that. But the White House is signaling this is going to be beyond that. It's going to be aimed at creating peace in conflicts all around the globe. It feels very much like a campaign to win the Nobel Peace Prize. I think the president is going to make them deny him when he is Mr. Board of Peace and trying to get these things done all over the world. it's almost as if, you're throwing up a challenge to them. Like, all right, look what I'm doing here. Bring the whole world together. We're going to get these things settled. How can you not give me the Nobel Peace Prize?
Okay.
And then he'll be able to wear them out if they don't.
Hey, there was a piece in The Hill yesterday that said Arizona Senator Mark Kelly is considering running for president in 2028. So here's my question. Does he have enough of a high profile nationally when people are already looking at names like Gavin Newsom or AOC or Pete Buttigieg? Or is this an election cycle where maybe a different name comes to the front?
Yeah, and he's gotten a lot more of the headline treatment because of the Department of War, this investigation, him taking part in that video from a number of service members, former service members who were lawmakers, who put out this video telling the military don't obey any unlawful orders. To which most of the military said, we already are not obeying unlawful orders. That's our pledge, is to the Constitution. But anytime there's this high-profile back and forth, it helps elevate these Democrats who are in, wars of words with the president or with the White House. So, we know he was a very, very short lister for the VP nomination with Kamala Harris. So it feels like his profile is definitely ascending, and maybe he peaks at the right time.
All right. Let's talk about your show on Sunday. I can't wait to learn. What do you got coming up?
So we're going to do tons of foreign policy, talks this weekend with Russia, Ukraine, and the U.S., another big foreign policy issue. And, this report that the U.S. is aggressively pushing for complete regime change in Cuba before the end of this year. So we've got the top Democrat on Senate Foreign Relations, Jeanne Shaheen, with us. She was part of that delegation that went over to Denmark to try to quiet this whole Greenland thing down. And we're going to run out of money next Friday if the Senate doesn't vote on all these funding bills this week. And with this storm that's rolling in, there are real concerns about people being able to travel in D.C. and get that vote done before next Friday.
Well, it's a great day for football and a great day for politics.
Yeah.
Shannon, we'll be watching out here on Fox 10 Sunday morning. See you next week. Okay, let's roll right into the poll question. So here is the story from Syleste from The Hill.
Yes.
Yesterday, they were profiling Mark Kelly. Today, I'm just going to give you just a kind of a brief outline. It says this past election was a dark chapter for Democrats as they lost not only the White House, but the House and the Senate. But Ruben Gallego's win in the state of Arizona was one of the few bright spots. And then they go on to say now some of the senator's allies argue he could apply the same winning strategy in a purple to reddish state to possibly win in 2028. So here's what our poll question looks like. What do you think? 15% of you say, actually, he'd be a good option. I'd vote for him. 76% say no, and not Mark Kelly. We need somebody to continue President Trump's policies. 9% not excited about any candidates so far. What are you seeing on YouTube, Syleste?
Okay, on YouTube, 630 votes.
Hold on.
Okay, so here. Okay. Let's go right to Dave. I think he's going to be able to read it for us.
Stand by, Dave. We got that break coming up anyway. It's all coming up in 2 minutes. And we are back, and boy, do we have some big news to share.
Yes.
The YouTube poll question button is working.
Breaking news, breaking news. All right, so now there's a push for Ruben Gallego for president. Here, what's your take on this? Yes, he'd be a good option. I'd vote for him. 18% of you say that. And we've got a tie in the other two options. No, and not Mark Kelly. We need Trump's policies continued. 41% there. And then the other one was there's not a single candidate I'm excited about thus far.
Well, fortunately, it's only early 2026.
Yeah, we still have plenty of time.
Correct.
Yes.
I mean, usually they'll throw their hat in the ring about a year, maybe a year and a half ahead of time.
Yeah, they let everybody spend all their money first.
Let's see. Not only are we getting a lot of likes for this poll question, more than 40 comments. Dave, what are you seeing, buddy?
That's right. So Spacey Stace says he'd vote for Mark Kelly. We need someone with the calm objective of a career military mind or strong in diplomacy to fix what Trump has caused. John West, 7993, says he's good, but he needs more experience. We saw with Trump what an unqualified candidate can do. And MCK 7042 says, I am only voting for J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio. Lots of differing opinions. We love the comments. Keep them up, everybody.
All right, Big D. Thank you, buddy.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, we have become sort of the political go-to podcast and streaming show.
Yeah, this is one of the stops folks like to make on their campaign trail. So this morning we have Dr. Michael Butts. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in. A proud father, former police officer, a teacher, an assistant principal, an elected school board member, and a Democrat running for superintendent of public instruction. Good to see you.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Here, I'll move this a little closer for you. Give us, what are your thoughts? Why are you deciding to run for office?
Sure, absolutely. 20 years ago when I left the police force, I realized that I would never bend the arc towards our children's future, towards success or more courage if I did not reach them earlier. And that's really what led me to teaching in public schools and earning my doctorate in education. And so, we're at a pivotal moment here in Arizona. We all know that we've been at the bottom of nationally ranked statistics in terms of quality of education. And so a lot of money's been coming out of public schools. And so we need somebody that's really going to be a champion for public schools and provide a vision on how to increase the quality of education here in Arizona.
What about those who say they like the concept of school choice? Maybe they feel like their local neighborhood public school is not getting the job done, and so they're able to choose another school in their area. What are your feelings about that?
Sure, absolutely. There are parents that do feel like school choice fits their particular educational needs or educational desires, but it shouldn't be at the expense of public schools. It doesn't have to be one way or the other. I believe that we have enough funding sources such as appealing Proposition 123, also talking about the aggregate expenditure limits, and really, making sure that we balance our budget to make sure that education for all students in any educational environment is successful.
As an elected school board member, what has that taught you about the Arizona school system? Because it can get kind of volatile at those board meetings sometimes. How do you take what you learned there into the potential of taking this new position? Sure,
absolutely. One of the things that, I've had to deal with head on when I got onto the Roosevelt School Board was dealing with the DEI initiatives and making sure that, the Washington initiatives were going to be threatening to take away federal funding. And so I voted no to change any of that language and to not sign off on that particular initiative for the Roosevelt School Board. I do believe that the courts figured it out in our favor. In August of last year, they voted that this was unconstitutional, it was illegal, and procedurally incorrect. And so, being on the school board, you really do get real experiences on what it's like to advocate for families, advocate for parents, advocate for students, advocate for educational professionals that know exactly what to do for students in the school. So
I wanted to ask if there was a light bulb moment for you when you're in the classroom. So you start off, and you're having those experiences. Was there a point, or was it gradual, where you said, I love being in the classroom, but I think there's more I could do?
Sure, absolutely. After spending 10 years in education altogether, my first 5 years were teaching elementary and also teaching high school students. And so that drive for being in a position where you could support teachers it really kind of elevated my thinking and saying that, hey, if we had a lot of support for teachers, I can make a bigger difference. And I did feel like being in that leadership position, I could do that. So
when you talk about teachers, a lot of teachers, I think around the Valley, they pay for supplies out of their own pocket, right? They're grading papers late into the night. I think they need personally higher pay. Where does that money come from? You mentioned Prop 123, but how do we also recruit those new teachers, and retain the good ones?
Sure. So, school districts know exactly how to evaluate teachers and train and provide professional development. And there's a lot of examples of that happening right now. And I think that when you look at the school districts that have excelled at doing that, even them those districts are still suffering from a lot of money coming out of public schools, and so they're having to cut programs. They're having to deal with enrollment issues, and so really it comes down to a matter of which teachers you can retain and which ones you have to help be successful somewhere else. And so that's a challenge that's ongoing.
Tell us a little bit more about your life story. We were kibitzing about that just before we went on the air here, and started in Cincinnati.
Sure. Yeah. So I spent about 20 years here so far, living in Phoenix, Arizona. But I came by way of Cincinnati, Ohio, where I was a Cincinnati police officer. And so, I was born and raised in Cincinnati. And so, I did some research on Arizona, specifically Phoenix, Chandler areas. And I came out to visit several times, and I absolutely fell in love with Arizona.
Yeah. He's looking for a warm spot, right? You Googled warm spot around the United States.
Right. Another cold winter in Cincy. Even though I love the Bengals, I got to move on.
I know.
And so I just feel like for each of us, our life's journey kind of informs where we are at any point in time. Anything about your time in law enforcement that you think you can bring to the table if you were to win this election?
Sure, absolutely. If I were to win this election, I would be coming in with knowledge day one on the importance and the concern that parents have about keeping kids safe, right? As a law enforcement officer, you're tasked with the responsibility of keeping citizens safe, no matter what their affiliation is, no matter if they have a D or R next to the name. And so when you talk about school safety, I know firsthand what priority that is for parents and even for kids. Kids want to feel safe. So
that is so true.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Really a chance for us to get to know you a little bit. And in terms of your overall campaign, if you had a slogan or a kind of a thought you wanted to leave with people.
Do you have a chant or something?
Celeste can do a chant for you if you'd like. What is it?
Sure. I believe that education is not a right until it's fully funded.
Okay.
Well,
there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice
Dr.
to meet
Butts,
you, Dr. Butts.
Excellent. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, all right. By the way, we just mentioned the Cincinnati Bengals. We're going to spend some time now talking about the Arizona Cardinals because I do think we're finally getting a little bit closer, Celeste, to some of the names that are out there on the list.
Yes.
And it's interesting because Vance Joseph was just named. Cardinal fans are reacting to every name that kind of percolates.
Yes.
But he was just named the assistant coach of the year in the National Football League.
Wow.
And by the way, the team he's been coaching on their defense is so good. They are now one game away from the Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Some of the other names, is it Robert Saleh?
Oh, Saleh.
Yes. Thank you. He's with the 49ers, the defensive coordinator.
He was kind of my choice. And I thought, boy, if they could put him on that list, it would really, it would be something that would be really strong. I'm just looking here. Oh, here we go with the various coaches' names that are out there now. So Saleh, by the way, just signed with the Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
But I thought he would make their defense world class.
I think Clint Kubiak
Okay.
with the Seahawks.
Why?
Well, because the Seahawks I think they're going to beat the Rams this weekend. I think the Seahawks and the Patriots are going to be going to the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
The last time they faced off each other, wasn't it here in Glendale, the Super Bowl?
Yes.
And I think the guy knows what he's doing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes, right.
They're really, really good. Now, I am a Cardinals fan.
Yes. But what's life like in your family, Celeste? Talk about it.
Ron knows this. For all of you, that's how I feel, actually, like that empty chair. That's how I feel at my house when the Seahawks
She's like, I'm out of here with the rest of you Seahawk. Why is everybody Seahawk fans in your family?
My husband's from Seattle, Edmonds, which is up on the Puget Sound. Yeah. And so all of our children are also Seahawks fans.
Okay.
So, and it was interesting watching when the 49ers were playing the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I had to like bite my tongue.
Oh.
I was like, when Purdy was, I was like, oh,
I know, because who doesn't root for Brock Purdy? I do.
I know. Yeah. And it was very challenging, but I think the guy knows what he's doing. I think now that the Cardinals obviously are out of it, I'm rooting for them to go all the way to the Super Bowl next year, Ron.
All right.
But now I'm going for the Seahawks. I think this guy knows what he's doing. He could be a good name and good idea for this team.
Yeah.
For the Cards.
Okay. So, the thing about it is the Cardinals, they obviously needed a fresh start. And we talked about it with Mark Malarich yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, not only are they going to get a new head coach, he feels like it is pretty much a done deal that Kyler Murray is done with this team. They need a complete fresh start, which is going to mean a whole new personality for the team.
Yes.
And maybe they're going to build it around defense.
Yeah, and maybe they need like it takes like a humble, brave leader. You know what I mean?
Humble and brave.
Yeah, to take on, to lead men.
Yes.
A leader of men is not an easy thing to find.
By the way, and that's true. And here are the other names. Raheem Morris, who was head coach up until a few weeks ago for the Atlanta Falcons. Mike LaFleur, who is the Rams offensive coordinator. And, man, they were putting up the points this year with Puka Nacua and Matthew Stafford. And then Matt Nagy. Also getting some chat with, the Chiefs. Their offense has been unbelievable. And so what do you want? Do you want a high-powered defense or a high-powered offense? You've got some options here, whether you go with Vance Joseph on the defensive side or all of these names on the offensive side.
Ron Burger Boys 25 said Seahawks forever, LOL. And by the way, we love all the hearts and the likes and the 100%s, the hundies that you guys will send in our way. And so keep doing that. And thank you for liking the video.
Yeah. By the way, where can you watch that Seahawks-Rams game? Fox 10 TV. Earlier in the day, it'll be the Patriots and the Broncos. That's going to be interesting, but, Bo Nix broke his ankle.
I know.
So he's not playing.
Did you see the post, though, that Bo Nix and the guy, what's his name that's going to step in for the Broncos?
Oh, Jarrett Stidham.
Mm-hmm. Stidham was at the university when Bo Nix came in. Mm-hmm. And Bo Nix was like a year younger than him or 2 years or something. Yeah. So they played in college together.
Well, there you go.
And now Bo Nix was the main guy, and this guy's coming in. I think it's going to be a good game.
All right. Break time. We'll be right back.
Woohoo.
And there we go, yet another part of the great USA where the rivers are just about frozen.
Oh,
Man,
my
I'm telling you, they're saying 200 million people will be in the deep freeze for about the next 4 days.
And
so.
for all of you who are snowbirds and hanging here, Ron, they're thanking their lucky stars. They're like, thank goodness I'm in Arizona right now.
Yeah. Well, I just mentioned that, we're the podcast of choice for an awful lot of people. Every day we have more people joining, but we're both intimidated. This is Celeste. She's intimidated.
Woo.
I'm your friend, the Hooner. I'm also intimidated. And the question...
Is that your intimidation face? Intimidated face?
Yeah. And it's because our guest beats us to the punch every time. We're really looking forward to... Yogi Patel with the award that you just won. This puts you in a category, frankly, that's about as high ranking as you can go. Tell us a little bit about your podcast, why you think it's so successful, and about the award. Go ahead and hold it up so we get a good look.
That is a beautiful award, by the way.
Thank
Yes,
you, right?
it is.
It's my Oscar moment.
Yeah.
Unlike Marlon Brando, this is not a doorstop.
No, right? What is it?
Yeah, so it is the bronze statuette for the Anthem Award.
Okay.
And my podcast is titled Yoke Nation, The Spirit of Gratitude. And it focuses on bullying, self-awareness, and our inner spirit. The idea is to invite high-profile guests to share their wisdom and perspective on these various topics for a person to be either be inspired, be educated, learn something about themselves, or rediscover something about themselves through the storytelling of these amazing guests that I've had on.
Who have been some of your favorite guests?
Jonathan Carl from ABC News.
Oh, really? Okay.
Judge Lynn Toler from Divorce Court.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we love her.
We've had her on before, yes. Yeah.
Sidney Justin from The Miracles. Oh, gosh. Dr. Nito Kubain, president of High Point University.
Oh, I love High Point. It's a beautiful campus in North Carolina.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, a little fun story there. When I was a teenager, I used to listen to his motivational tapes.
Oh, wow.
And to have it come full circle where he's on the
tapes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's how old we are.
Tape over. Time to turn the cassette tape over. Okay,
so you listened to his tapes, and then I'm sure you shared that with him. And how did that go? Yeah.
Yeah. I said, sir, you look a little older and wiser these days. What happened?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you've been podcasting how long now?
My first podcast episode was August of 2024.
Oh,
wow.
So a year and a half.
Less than 2 years.
Yeah, yes.
And did they tell you what the criteria was that actually helped you to win this amazing award?
Actually, I don't know, and probably ignorance is bliss. Again, this honor was bestowed on me by the Anthem Award, and the judges were selected from the International Academy of Digital Arts and Sciences. So this past year, there were over 2,000 entries across 43 countries, and the Anthem Award itself has 7 different categories. So again, recognizing social impact leaders making a difference in their communities. So there's one pillar for diversity, equity, inclusion, another for responsible technology. I happen to fall under the health category. And that's the thing that's still stunning, is that how many thousands of podcasts that are out there that kind of focus on this well-being genre.
Yeah. So take us through that first. You said you had a technology background,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Where did you go to school?
I went to school at the University of Arizona. I was going to say Arizona. University of Washington, Seattle.
Oh, okay. Oh, you did.
Go Dogs.
Ron's a Husky.
Yeah. Go Dogs.
Okay. Although I'm class of 79. I'm sure you're probably more like class of 2000.
I'm not too far off.
Okay.
All right.
Is there like a battle cry for the Huskies? Woo woo.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's bow down to Washington.
Yes.
So take us to that moment. You get your degree. You're in technology. To that moment, you decide to launch your podcast. Like, what kind of gave you the hunger, the motivation to do just that?
Great question. So it's I found my purpose in life, and that is I looked at my youngest daughter, who has Tourette's. At the time in middle school, very tough on her. The bullying that she endured, the teasing, the people talking behind her back. Yet she had a talent of writing. Again, just God gives you these talents and these gifts. And so throughout her bullying journey in middle school, she was able to write 2 books. I mean, they're not Charles Dickens novels, but nonetheless, it was something where it was a form of expression. So the second book, called The Terrible Bullies, and the word terrible is in quotations, took what was a #1 release on Amazon when it came out.
Wow.
So,
it's amazing.
And she worked at the Ritz-Carlton for a year. So I'm like, how does this individual that had been severely bullied in middle school, grow up to have these early successes in life. And I thought that adversity shapes success. And that's the message that I want to be able to articulate on this podcast.
We should bring you back sometime when we have like a whole hour.
Yeah, we need, because we really want to dig into it.
But we just have a couple of minutes left. You said when you sat down here, you said lead with your heart. How can that apply for people who are watching today who do want to see some improvements in certain areas of their life?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. I really don't know how to answer that other than just the answers are within ourselves, right? And I think that messaging, whether you hear it from this podcast or others, it's about self-reflection. And that's really what I want to be able to get out there.
And maybe it's the name of your podcast is called The Spirit of Gratitude. And maybe that's where it begins, right?
Yes.
And being grateful for what you have in front of you and for the opportunities that we have before us.
Absolutely. And underneath the word gratitude, I believe that there's 5 pillars. This is just my definition of what gratitude encompasses, which is humility, appreciation, courage, resilience, and awareness.
I'm writing these down. Go through them one more time. Humility, appreciation, gratitude.
No.
Okay.
Humility, appreciation,
courage, resiliency, and awareness.
Right. We're going to put these up in the newsroom, actually, I think. That would be good.
There's some people over there that could, take a pointer.
I'm going to put them actually on my desk, too. Ron, me and you will start on our desk.
Okay.
And then we'll put them up.
Yeah, for sure.
It was nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me in studio.
It was wonderful to have you. And so next time you're in Phoenix, or is this home for you again? I'm sorry.
Tucson,
that's right. Yeah. Come on,
this is my second home.
Good.
Okay,
All
good.
Arizona experts are welcome on this pod for sure. Congratulations again on the award.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, let's book you again sometime.
Yeah, thank you for coming in.
Okay.
I'm grateful. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. There are a few more news stories, Celeste, that we want to get to here just in these next couple of minutes. And I think for one, we're going to go to New York.
Yes. Okay, let's go to New York, Ron.
So, we do have we have reports on Luigi Mangione. Why is he in the news again today?
So today's for the evidence suppression hearing, Ron.
Right.
So that's big headlines there on the East Coast. And I believe we have somebody this morning.
Yep. Okay. In fact, it's Kailey Schuyler who's joining us here. And Kailey, take it away, would you? It looks like there's a crowd already gathered across the street.
Hi, Ron and Celeste. So testimony ended just about 10 minutes ago, and today all of that testimony was from Altoona Police Deputy Chief Nathan Snyder. And what you're talking about, this crowd out here, actually Luigi Mangione's defense just walked out and crossed the street because, like I said, court just ended. But Snyder, who's part of the Altoona Police Department today, he wasn't part of Mangione's arrest, and he also is not part of the investigation, but he was testifying about the department's procedures of taking and storing someone's belongings when they're arrested. And he testified today that the department's procedure usually is to gather someone's belongings that are on or around them. They document them, safeguard them, and then secure them. Now, if we backtrack a little bit, Mangione was arrested in an Altoona McDonald's back in December of 2024. That was just 5 days after prosecutors say he shot and killed United Healthcare CEO. Mangione had a backpack with him when police took him into custody, and his defense lawyers are arguing police shouldn't have taken it and searched it without a warrant. Inside that backpack, police found a gun and a notebook that prosecutors say included a manifesto. Mangione's defense wants that evidence thrown out before trial, but prosecutors say police didn't need a warrant to search Mangione's backpack because at the time, police had already detained Mangione for forgery and providing a fake ID. And prosecutors say Altoona police protocol requires promptly searching a suspect's property for dangerous items at the time of an arrest. Police have also argued they would have found the gun and notebook anyway when they did an inventory search back at the station. At Mangione's last hearing, federal judge Margaret Garnett weighed in saying, "I don't think it's really disputed that if you're arrested in a public space, the police are just supposed to leave your personal property. I'm not following the argument that the backpack was not personal property he had with him." Now, the judge today said that the timing of a trial all depends on if the death penalty is going to be on the table here. If it's a capital trial, it could start in January, but if it's non-capital, it could start in as early as October. But Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all of his state and federal charges. Ron, Celeste.
Kailey, we see some of those cameras behind you. Any idea how long today will last there at the courthouse?
So it should be wrapping up pretty soon. Like I mentioned, Mangione's defense just walked out of the courthouse. The hearing today, it lasted just over an hour, essentially. So we're not going to see Mangione walk out here. All we're really going to see of him today is from some of the court sketches. But what is interesting is next Friday, so just a week from today, there's going to be another hearing here for his federal case.
Okay, Kailey Schuyler live for us there. Kailey, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, and then on to one more story, Celeste,
Yes,
before we say
Ron.
our goodbyes here. And it has to do with the great folks out in, ladies and gentlemen, Buckeye. I love that they keep the Old West alive in Buckeye. It's time for the annual Buckeye Days celebration.
It's so awesome. You know, there was a few years ago, I met some of the guys. They actually have like a live, like a simulation of like a old Western town shootout.
Yeah, right.
And
the cattle drive.
Cattle
Oh,
drive.
I love the cattle drive.
It's so awesome. Look at these guys on these little scooters and everything. Like,
Sure, yeah.
It is, and it's going to be a beautiful week. Oh, there's the cattle, Ron.
Yes.
There's the
Sure.
cattle.
They're like, what are we doing in downtown Buckeye? Did we take a wrong turn?
They're like, where's the grass?
Where's the
I'm
corral?
hungry.
Yeah. It's so great, though.
Oh, my goodness. It really is so amazing. You know, this has been one of the largest events there in the West Valley, and they hold it each and every year. And it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great weekend. It might be a little bit chilly. I know Krystal was talking about the weather conditions, but into the afternoon, it's going to be just fabulous.
Yes.
It really is. And it's
Yeah.
going to be one of those weekends where you get to put on, it's going to be sweater weather.
Yeah.
Out there, so you can put on a little hanky on your neck.
Yes, please
You know,
do.
wear your cowboy hat. Oh, the El Camino.
Look at the El Camino. That guy's like, now, am I in the parade right now, or what's happening? Look at this one, though. Oh, some of these old cars.
Oh,
I
my
mean, we love it, and there go the Shriners.
Wow.
I mean, it's just, Scottsdale used to call itself the West's most western town.
Yeah, not anymore.
I now nominate Buckeye and the cool people out there.
I think I'm with you. You know, Scottsdale, I love Scottsdale, but it's a little bougie to be the
I've
West's most
noticed that
western
lately.
town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
right?
mean, yeah. I mean, back in the old days when I used to ride my horse in there, like horse and buggies in the 1920s, can't do that anymore.
You and the horse and buggy. All right, so we got to say goodbye. We're going to clear out for these guys
Already,
here.
Ron?
A whole nother hour of information and conversation. We'll be right back.
Have a great day, everyone.
is Krystal's here.
We love when Krystal comes in.
We do.
Woo.
You're going to talk
Hold
about
on.
specifically weather in Kentucky.
You got to scoot over. No, that
Other way, other way, towards us.
That's the
Well, yeah, but then I'm out of my other shot.
Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
We never know which camera to look into, so we just you asked what weather we wanted, and Dave said Kentucky.
Yeah, so I'm pulling that up right now. Just a little Kentucky run through.
No, but we're getting some pretty crazy weather throughout the entire nation. I mean, that cold front looks brutal. You were showing those temperatures earlier, especially what it feels like with that wind chill added in. Those are some extraordinary numbers.
Yeah, pretty much 2/3 of the country from now through Monday morning are going to just be wrecked by winter weather. It's already brutally cold. So you've got this really cold air that's dropped in from the north, like from up, near Canada.
Yeah.
And it's covered like a good chunk of the country. Even northern Arizona is starting to feel the effects of that colder air intruding in. And then you've got this area of low pressure that's coming up from the southwest off the Pacific coastline. And it's going to kind of merge together to make this like combo weather pattern that is, I hate it's a little like kitschy, but the perfect storm in terms of like it's going to run across the country, rain, snow, ice, cold temps. And the concern is obviously that there's power outages, and then you've got the brutal cold that people are going to be in for a really rough weekend potentially, and flights are probably going to be a mess, realistically.
Really?
Yeah, because once the chain reaction of delays, and if there's ice, they're not flying. If there's too much snow, they're not flying because of visibility. So there's a lot at play these next couple of days for folks. We're like the starting line of this. So we have a little bit of the wintry effects, a little rain, a little snow, bit of a cool down. But the true impacts really fire up starting around like eastern New Mexico and Texas, actually, and all the way down to like Louisiana. Wow. They are under winter weather alert because of this storm system. So it's quite a setup. For us locally, this is our live view in Flagstaff, where this morning we did have at least a couple snow showers passed by. It's obviously stopped at this point, so it's dry for now, but there is the potential later today, but specifically in the high country, more like tomorrow and tomorrow morning through tomorrow afternoon, that we will watch the better chance for some waves of snow showers to roll through. But there's the view on Fox Vision currently, so our radar satellite imagery. A couple things to note. The current showers are mostly in like southeastern Arizona, which is what we were expecting. There's some very light stuff up in northern Arizona, not too surprising. And then I think what's most important is now our eyes are looking down to the southwest, where the next round of moisture is coming from. So nice area of rain that's moving over the Baja right now and is pointing towards the valley. So we've got additional shower chances this afternoon. And then as we go through tonight into tomorrow, more chances of showers to start to develop. There's the closer look at the showers that are over parts of Gila County, moving to like Graham Greenlee right now. I know, I forget who it is, but someone who is with us a lot is from Safford. And you're about to get some rain in Safford. Winkleman, Linda. Okay, Linda, if you're watching, you're about to get some showers, it looks like. I always know she asked about Safford. So, and then we've got the rain that's moving off to the east. That'll eventually turn into some snow showers for the White Mountains here a little later this afternoon. And then it's super spotty in the high country. So if we skip to our Fox weather model, which is just cool. I use this when I think it's, most accurate. It's a model that only the Fox television stations have access to, because we've got some people that are far smarter than I who have developed our own model.
Don't say that.
100%. Developing a model is like next level genius.
Yeah, but you build
can do
all
a lot.
these and then you build graphics things.
No. They made like the whole model like supercomputer stuff, which is really impressive.
They're smarter than you.
We get to use it, which is very neat. So here's a look at the Fox weather model. And I think it's doing a really nice job of showing where stuff currently is, and see how it shows that little area of rain starting to creep into Yuma County. So I always look to see how a model initializes, meaning how does it start? Is it accurately depicting what's actually happening? Because sometimes you'll look at a model and it'll show what's happening right now, and it's totally off from what radar is truly showing. And in the weather nerd world, we say garbage in, garbage out. So if you're starting with a wrong idea of how the atmosphere is acting, you're not going to get a forecast for how the atmosphere is going to act that's accurate. So
I say that about my life every day.
Garbage in, garbage out. So if we put this into motion, this is this afternoon, and it does show some scattered showers passing by the valley, and it shows a little bit more steady snow picking up over some of the White Mountains and far eastern Arizona. Like I said, more so moving into New Mexico. As we go through tonight, it lifts up into northern Arizona, and then you start to see better snow shower chances for northern Arizona. So this is realistically when I think like Flagstaff, parts of the Mogollon Rim, we'll start to see a better chance of some accumulating snow developing as it kind of runs through. And for the valley, again, it's mostly light scattered showers. By 7 a.m., best snow chances are to the east, and there's, I don't want to call it like a full lull, but it probably will seem fairly dry in comparison tomorrow morning. As a second secondary system for the north starts to fall into place, we will see the next round of some scattered snow showers, at time a little steadier in northern Arizona. And that area of rain you see in Mojave and Yavapai County, so like Prescott, south of Kingman, that is going to try to clip through the valley in the afternoon. This is a front that could trigger a couple of steadier showers or thunderstorms. So briefly could get a little punch of rain. And then this is 5 o'clock. By like 6 o'clock or so, it's pulling out of the valley. Overnight, we're clearing out. So by Sunday, we're totally dry. This is becoming a problem for the rest of the country, realistically, as it moves farther to the east. So,
is it a problem for people flying? My dad is leaving Sunday, and I said, be prepared to be stuck.
Yeah.
He said, it's fine here. And I said, right, but
it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Chicago. He's going to Chicago, which is a frozen tundra right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but then you have that snowball effect, pun intended, where if the flights are canceled there, they're not taking off from here.
Well, and I don't know if there's a layover or not, but obviously like Dallas, like Fort Worth is a big layover city, and they have the possibility of not only getting like wintry mix, but, you know, in the vicinity of Texas, some ice accretion or, you know, ice accumulation, which is worst case scenario. Well, Ty, you probably know with airline piloting, like that's worst case scenario for if the runways are icy because of freezing rain, it's a problem. There's the forecast for the snow totals, guys, and you can see it's like 5 to 10 for Snowbowl and like 1 to 2 for Flagstaff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We always love having you on.
We do indeed.
Happy to
have to come on just with weather either. Next
you
time.
can just come hang out anytime you want. We're always open. We love when you come by, and so do the viewers, so we appreciate
We
it.
can talk food.
Okay.
All I know how to talk about. Oh, okay. Mom stuff. I would say mom stuff and weather. It's all I've got. Thanks, guys.
So we had a really fun guest on, I think it was Wednesday.
I wasn't here.
You were here. You missed out. So I decided I'm going to bring him back in. We had a mentalist in, which I always think is so absolutely fascinating. Joshua Kane. And Joshua has a show this weekend in Mesa. So he decided, we invited him back in person so that you can meet him.
I'm so excited about this. Good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Nice and close to that mic for us, Joshua.
Right,
I know.
close to
He's
the
got a
mic.
bubbly voice, though. I mean, I think it'll be
we
fine.
had a lot of comments. People were saying that your voice was really great.
Well, I do a lot of voiceover work.
Oh, you do? Have fun.
I'm in people's homes all the time. I used to be the voice of Pillsbury. It's baking season with Pillsbury, or
That's cool.
Little Caesars, 8 crispy, crunchy, caramelized corners. And so it's been wonderful. I grew up listening to all those kinds of voices, and the theater of the mind, as I called it, with spoken word artists, people like Orson Welles. And I fell in love with that ability of storytelling and the different kinds of stories that different voices would tell.
So that's so true.
And that became a natural lead-in then to become a mentalist, because I'm an actor by trade. And actors, we have great empathy for other people, the ability to connect with other people emotionally and intellectually. And so as an actor, I use my 5 senses often to create the illusion of a sixth sense, where it feels as if I'm reading your mind sometimes, that I can get inside of your heads.
Yeah, you sure you want to read heads?
I know. Yeah, you probably don't want to go too deep in there. Probably not a whole lot in there, to be honest.
Well, it's not as if I'm someone who could just pluck your ATM PIN number out of your head.
Yeah, please don't.
During the show, we play a series of games together. In Borders of the Mind, the psychic show for the whole family, the audience comes together, the lights are up, there is no hidden things, everything is out in the open, and we play a series of games together, and within the context of the games, I have incredible acts of synchronicity often take place. Those moments where the audience gets to become the star. Because the show isn't about me. I'm not as interesting as the people who come to the show. During Borders of the Mind, 40 volunteers will have the opportunity to come up on stage and connect with their own latent psychic superpowers. And I believe we all do have incredible abilities. When we get away from our iPhones and we turn them off, when we tone the technology down and we take time to be people with each other and form community, that's when those moments happen. And so the big job in Borders of the Mind is creating an atmosphere where cynicism cannot exist, where it vaporizes. It becomes essentially Peter Pan for adults. We all clap for Tinkerbell together.
I love it.
We all need that in life, absolutely. You mentioned that when we were chatting the other day that, what were you saying about detecting if people are telling the truth?
Absolutely. The thematics of the show, the skills that I will demonstrate, my superpowers, lie detection is a big one.
We like that.
I grew up with a family where we had police officers as part of the family, professional detectives. And when I was 13 years old, I met a gentleman by the name of Gary Lee Williams. Gary Lee was a martial artist, but he was also a bodyguard to the Dalai Lama.
Oh, wow.
And he took an interest in me. I was 13 years old, and he became my older brother and had me reading books on NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, memory skills, books by Harry Lorraine, books on lie detection, body language. He was teaching me how to read the room. He was also teaching me how to be a good actor.
So give us an idea. The show is January 24th.
It's tomorrow.
Two shows. 3 o'clock and 7:30.
Looking at the website, it looks like It looks like a fantastic venue. Give us an idea of what's going to take place.
Well,
we have 3 minutes until our commercial
Well, then
break.
let's try something together. I'm curious. Ty, we've never met.
No.
So we're going to play a little game together. We're going to become a little bit acquainted.
I'm getting nervous.
You're familiar
Sweating.
with you're familiar with playing cards. So you know the hearts, the diamonds, the spades, the clubs, the ones that look like puppies' feet.
Yep.
I'm asking you just to touch the back of any one of the cards. I'm not going to look. I'll
Just
leave
touch it?
Yeah, touch the back.
Okay.
Touch the back of one of the cards.
This one. I'm sorry.
Okay. Take the card.
I would have thought that.
Show it to Anita. Show it to the camera. Do not let me see it. My eyes are
I'm going to
closed.
show the camera real quick.
Okay, and then put it back on top. Okay. Okay. So right there. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. We don't need these now. I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
Do you remember what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can lie or not lie at any time.
Oh, okay.
If you lie, so the thing is, if you lie some of the time, it's more interesting than if you lie all the time or never lie at all.
Oh,
but first, I need to get a couple baselines on you.
Okay.
You look like an adventurous person. Are you a pilot?
Yes.
Okay.
I can lie though, right?
But that was true.
Oh, yes.
And one of the ways we know it's true is how direct you were, rapid in the response, and the voice did not change in its pitch.
Oh, okay.
You also maintained the same atmosphere. You were surprised, though, that I was able to detect that you were a pilot.
Yes.
But it's because you come across as a very adventuresome person, and living in this area I thought was a possibility.
Okay.
Did you do any research on Ty Pryor?
No, I've done no research.
It's all over his social media. Well, people at home will ask.
Well, and they should ask, because that would certainly be a way to do it, but it would not be as much fun.
Okay.
Being wrong is fine with me. Failure authenticates later successes. So let's try a game now. First of all, answer these 3 questions truthfully for me. Favorite food?
Mexican.
Mexican. Place you'd like to travel next?
Spain.
Favorite relative?
Sister.
Okay, took a moment there. Now, everyone else in the family is upset with you, but that's all right.
I said mom, knowing you and your relationship.
So my first question is, and it's binary, it's like good or bad. Black or white. In this case, red or black. Was the card a red card or a black card?
Black.
Black. Thought
I'm not
about
good at
lying.
this. You should make her do it.
Thought about lying, but changed your mind. You hear how intense the voice got?
Remember. My thought is you didn't remember.
Did you see how intense he got?
Yes.
Red, black. So that tells me that the stumble, that you were not telling the truth, because we stumble when we're lying.
Okay,
we're going to take a break.
And we'll come back.
2-minute break, and then we're going to come back.
I'm not good at this. I would fold under an interrogation.
We'll be right back.
Oh my, much more, you guys. This is fun. All right, we are here with mentalist Joshua Kane, and he was peppering me with questions when we left for the break, so I'm ready.
A former interrogation. So you've selected a card.
Yes.
And I have not seen it.
No.
You've shared it with Anita, and you've shared it with your television audience and the people in the room.
Yeah.
I'm asking you questions now to detect whether you are lying or not lying.
Mm-hmm.
I've now confirmed already the card is a black card.
Mm-hmm.
So is the card a spade or a club?
It is a spade.
Now it's interesting. He thought about telling the truth, but he changed his mind. Did you love that? It's a spade. As I look down, I mean that's one step.
Lying.
That's one step.
No, I am not a good liar.
Played this with me.
Well, that's one step away from mommy. I didn't put my hands in the cookie jar. I swear, that's right up there.
Joshua, you're making me sweat.
So we now know it's a spade.
Oh my God.
Is it a face card or a number card, Ty?
It's a face card.
It's a face card. Again, the way you just stumble when you are embarrassed to lie, but he wants to be able to lie.
Be sore by the noon.
So clearly it is a number card. So is it a 6 or above, or is it 5 or below?
Yes. 6 and above.
Yes, 6 and above. Do you see that, everyone? 6 and above. He throws it up and above because he can't tell the truth. Was even trying to get off mic on that because he was mortified at lying on television. I understand.
Good.
So now I know that it's 1 through 5. Say for me, ace 2, 3, 4, 5. Say ace 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ace 2, 3, 4, 5.
Again.
Ace 2, 3, 4, 5. Ace 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Now, interesting. On only one of those did you maintain a consistent pitch, which was the 5. Therefore, I believe that you are thinking of the 5 of clubs. Is this right?
Uh-huh.
Yes. All right. Okay. Good.
I saw where you were going with it.
Now, what's lovely about that is when I do this on stage in the show, we bring a 10-year-old boy up on stage because 10-year-old boys are always convinced they're the most brilliant liars, but they have not yet learned to mask their tells. And so their parents get the wonderful, joyful experience of going, oh, that's what he looks like when he's not telling the truth. I don't bring women up on stage for lie detection because culturally in our country, women have been taught to hold back on showing their real feelings about things. So on stage, under those pressures, it magnifies it and it makes it harder to read. So there are different experiments which I will try with a woman. And would you like to try something, Anita?
Okay.
During the pandemic, my son, we couldn't go to the theater, which is how we bond as a family. So we started showing him all the great movies. So we had movies like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he puts his comments down. Never bring a sword to a gunfight. Princess Bride, inconceivable. I do not think it means what you think it means. Empire Strikes Back, daddy issues. He summed that one up well. Godfather, drop the gun, take the cannoli. Kinky Boots, never give me burgundy when I ask for red. So I've got about 50 movies written down here, which he loved and he gave his reactions to. I'm going to ask you just to pick up.
Am I allowed
open it
to
up.
see?
Yeah, just open up. Okay, to a page. Stop. There. Lift up. Do you see a movie title?
Yeah.
And a description of it. Excellent, because I can't.
Okay.
All right, so you've got that. I'm going to ask you to think about that movie. I'm going to ask you to try to send that movie to me. Okay. Would you press your hand against mine?
Well, what if I've never seen the movie?
It's okay.
Okay.
In your mind, try spelling it then. See, it's like a marquee, a commercial. Let's see. I'm getting a wintry feeling. Does that make any sense? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did you wash your hands?
Yes, I did. I did wash my hands. I'm getting the feeling that there is a monster of some kind.
I don't know.
I'm seeing sibling issues. It's not The Empire Strikes Back. Is this Frozen?
It's Frozen.
Oh, my God, that's great. Well done.
Good job.
Well played, Anita.
Thank you.
So during the show, we're going to bring the audience up on stage, and we're going to play the games, and we're going to learn a lot about each other and going to have a lot of fun. And what the audience needs to know is they are my guests on stage. I will never do anything to embarrass anyone who comes up on stage.
Fun.
They will be the stars of the show, and wonderful things are going to happen together.
And how did you guess Frozen? What about my, I guess...
You have a Frozen demeanor.
If you take a look, I'm actually getting goosebumps.
No, really, I'm wondering.
I am. No, I actually am. You can see I do have goosebumps.
Maybe we're mentalists together.
Well, I think that's how it works. I think we all are mentalists.
Yeah, I do.
Together.
I agree.
The synergy and the synchronicity that happens when people of like minds and hearts gather together in a room makes for incredible opportunities. And I go to the theater. I invite your audience to come to the theater for the same reasons I do, which is the same reason other people go to church or synagogue. We come together to experience stories in community with people who we often don't know. But halfway through, we look across the aisle and we see each other clearly for the first time.
Nice. The show we'll put all the information on is this weekend.
Tomorrow.
2 tomorrow. Tickets are available.
3, 7:30. That's fun. Thank you so much. That was really, really cool. It's nice to meet you.
Wonderful playing with you both.
Thank you so much,
Nick.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Delighted.
Appreciate it. Okay, so we will put all that information.
I got to find do we have a picture of her book for the next?
No, but we have this.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe Josh wanted to do the hot girl
There you
book.
go.
I don't know.
Joshua, thank you.
Okay, there's info, you guys, on the show. We'll put all that up. It is going to be an absolute blast. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Okay, our next guest. We tell a lot of our guests that they're our favorite, but you truly, really are.
One of the friends of the show, Allison Breannan. No relation.
No.
But we could be.
Well, we could be.
We could
well,
be.
by marriage, because I took my husband's name.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm allergic. I almost said allergic to your husband. Related to your husband.
Maybe.
He shook because Joshua read his mind.
Did you see that?
Such a bad liar.
I'm a horrible liar.
How many kids do you have?
5.
And could you tell when they were lying?
Yeah.
Yeah, right away.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They can't lie. Now, the interesting thing is, if they're talking to me on the phone, I have a hard time telling. If they're face to face,
that's it.
They can't lie to me. It's kind of like where they put their eyes, their tone. You can totally
It's
tell.
so fascinating. Cool. I've known Ty for a really long time, so
she knows when I'm lying. And when I get nervous.
Yeah,
and he was making me nervous with his line of questioning.
He doesn't want to say the answer.
But don't commit a crime, please.
No, I would be I would confess everything.
I have a hard time lying too, actually.
Yeah.
I don't like to. Yeah. I mean, you get caught. You're always going to get caught, and it's even worse. Speaking of committing crimes,
how many books? She's an author, one of our favorite authors here in Arizona. How many books have you written, Allison?
Well, this one is number 51.
Wow, number 51.
I think I've read 47 and a half.
Anita is your biggest fan.
Plowing through. Now I have the Libby app, and so I'm just down. I just finished the Kincaid family series. Well, I don't know if I finished them because I really don't know how many there are.
There's 17 in the Lucy Kincaid series.
Oh, no.
And then
I'm on 3.
The trilogy is about her siblings. So there's
so I finished the trilogy, which I like. I got to the point where Lucy and her boyfriend broke up, and I almost messaged you the other day and say, why did they break up? Because I really liked Sean, but I'm not going to have you explain that to me. This is the other series that I really, really love, and this is how I started with your books. The Third to Die was my first book that I read.
So I just want to get...
Allison's like, you can talk, I don't have to.
Yeah, you're doing a great job selling my books. I love it.
But I wanted to ask you how you got into this, because I love the story that you had a totally different career before you became an author.
Yeah, so I used to be a consultant in the California State Legislature, and my primary job was helping all the legislators with constituent communication. Kind of just like, how do you reach out? How do you track things like that? I just ended up being really burnt out. And I had my third child, Luke, who is now almost 25. Can't believe it. Making me feel old. And so I had, I just hated my job. I wanted to stay home. I said, what can I do from home? Well, I've always wanted to be a writer ever since I was little, but I just never really did it seriously. So I finally, after Luke was born, I said, okay, I'm going to finish one of these. Literally, I had over 100 books I started writing that I never got past maybe 100 pages. I'm going to finish one. And I did. And then that one didn't sell. But that's okay. The second one is better. It took me 5 books. My 5th book I sold, it's The Prey. And it's the 20th anniversary of the release of The Prey this month.
Congratulations.
And we should mention a New York Times bestseller.
Yeah.
You've won all sorts of accolades and awards for being a fantastic author. So, I mean, it just goes to show you that you can have a career switch in life, and a successful one at that. 51 books now. That is unbelievable to me.
I had actually I'm from Sacramento, and I had a write-up when I switched careers because it was a complete career switch. And it was like a local Sacramento business magazine for people under 35 who have a major career switch. And so I was 34, 33, somewhere around there when I sold my first book.
Wow.
How cool.
So I feel like when you read specific authors, they seem to have a pattern. I don't know if I'm describing that correctly. Like some of them will do like
or a style, maybe.
Yeah, thank you. Like the first chapter is present, the second, or this chapter will be the victim. This one will be. And I thought I had you figured out but I don't, because every book that I read or that anybody would read, I would say, is very different. How do you even come up with this stuff?
Well, first, I don't plot. So that's probably why I don't have a pattern.
So you just start writing?
I have an idea. I kind of know the setup. I know the characters. I know like what the crime is. But sometimes I don't know who the killer is. Sometimes I do, because it just really depends. In this book, I did know who the killer was because he was literally arrested in the first chapter. But the book is not about his arrest. It's about everything that comes after that. So that was a lot of fun. But I had no idea. I created this elaborate escape room that the bad guy put my two characters in, and I had no idea how they were going to get out. My husband, who had majored in mechanical engineering in college, I said, okay, what is plausible? This is what I want to do. And so he helped me make it plausible. Might not be completely realistic, but physics-wise, or engineering-wise.
It can happen.
It can happen.
And your daughter's a police officer. She was with you last time. You have people at the FBI that you reach out to. You really do your research.
I try.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is fiction, but I want it to be, like I said, plausible.
Yeah.
Even though, there's probably more books on serial killers than there are serial killers. I want to make sure that whatever story I'm doing is going to be a real story.
We did a Q&A not too long ago, and you were nice enough to come help out an organization that I was working with. And someone had a question I thought was so interesting. They said, what about AI? And you said you use AI for specific things. And I was laughing so hard when you were saying what some of your prompts were. Can you just tell the audience what some of your questions that you asked ChatGPT?
So I had to figure out if something was actually possible, and my husband was being of no help to me. So I typed in the question into ChatGPT because I said, would this be plausible to do? So it was my whole scenario, and I don't want to give it away because it's a major scene in the book. And ChatGPT says, I can't help you with that because it is a crime. So I rephrased the question. I am writing a thriller. This is a scene that I want to include in this particular thing happens in the scene.
Your computer is probably on some sort of FBI watch list.
That, they'd be like,
And so it actually, my idea would work. And then ChatGPT told me what a very specific chemical that would do what I needed it to do.
We've unfortunately only got
Sunday.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to tell everyone about it?
So this Sunday, my 20th anniversary party is at the Poisoned Pen in Scottsdale, Arizona, 2:00. I'm giving away a book bag. Yay! 20th anniversary.
Oh, that is
party.
so cool.
And so there'll be bundt cakes and cookies and champagne and a Q&A, and I'll be there
can meet you.
and signing my book.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can bring books to have them signed.
They could bring books, or you could get them at the Poison Pen.
Awesome. We'll put all that info up here.
Thank you.
All right. When's your next one coming out so you can come back again?
June. Whisper Free.
All right.
Okay, we're booking
we'll see you this summer. Allison, good to see you.
Thanks for
Thanks for everything.
We appreciate it.
Well, here we are at 11:30. It's Ron and Des. We're going to hang out with you right till 12 noon. And I'm telling you, Des, here's how I feel. As we show you yet another picture from, I believe this is Paradise, Michigan, up there in the Great Lakes. I feel like we need to give them equal time in like the summer and the fall when it's beautiful, but without all the snow.
Oh, I know. I agree.
You know?
Right? They don't just look like that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's a really pretty picture.
Yeah, and I guess it shows you why they had to build a lighthouse there a long time ago. By the way, if you ever are up in Michigan, go all the way as far north as you can go. Mm-hmm. You cross the Big Mac Bridge, and you get up to the UP, the Upper Peninsula. And on the far northern edge where it meets Lake Superior, they have the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum. And you would not believe all the ships that went down in storms in Lake Superior. Mm. It's like a whole thing. And they built this Shipwreck Museum, and it's powerful. Really powerful. We're actually going to do a Great American Story. Johnny Netzel and I think next week, talking about just the history of the shipwrecks there. Yeah, so nice. Anyway, all right, how's your day so far?
Good. Mm-hmm. Great. It involved cake.
How?
Like cake.
How did it involve cake? How did I miss the cake?
We were at Nothing Bundt Cake.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They have a new location in Phoenix on East Baseline. A husband and wife. They also own the Albuquerque location. Okay. Husband and wife. Yeah. That met in Old Town Scottsdale Sunday Fun Day.
Wow.
It's a funny little story. Okay. But they're very successful in their marriage and in their business life.
Nice.
And Sandy, it's Omar and Sandy.
Okay.
Sandy is a Navy veteran, served her country, and is now serving us amazing cakes. So sweet little family.
I feel like Nothing Bundt Cakes is sort of the cake version of Pie-fection, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can do no wrong to me.
In the sweets category?
Cakes.
Sure.
Like, yeah. Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a good Friday for me.
Yeah, okay. Really doing great. We have our first flag football game tomorrow, Saturday. I'm coaching my grandson Riley's team with a bunch of 7-year-olds, and we're having a great time.
Yay!
Yeah.
Well, apparently the Buffalo Bills are interviewing high school coaches, so you might as well be next. The Bills are bringing in Phillip Rivers.
If you guys knew the steam that's been coming out of Desiree's ears lately... So they fired their coach, and now they are literally talking to Phillip Rivers to see about him coming to be the coach.
The rumor is yeah. So we'll see.
The rumor is he's got the job?
No,
they want him.
Being interviewed. That he's being interviewed.
Okay.
Being interviewed.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Great player, but maybe that could translate well. But
yeah,
I digress.
Okay.
Moving on.
Let's talk about the big news stories of the morning. You know, it was not that long ago that they created a system here in Arizona called the Turquoise Alert. Mm-hmm. And almost on a monthly basis now, we are learning about why that was so important to create a system like this. Mm-hmm. It's for outreach to the Native American community and in an effort to solve cases where people, particularly young people, go missing, or in some cases, it's even worse.
Yeah, and like you said, we've heard now the Turquoise Alert for a few times, it seems like, in the last just a couple of months. But this recent case is involving Isabella Comas is just devastating. Obviously, there has been a person of interest that police have eyed, and that was her boyfriend, who has a lengthy criminal history. And right now, some of the new evidence coming out just does not, it doesn't sound good.
If you haven't seen it yet, here's our Nicole Crassine's report on this particular case.
We can't imagine how difficult it is for the family. They really are our motivation as we go out there and find Isabella.
It's been almost 12 days since loved ones of 21-year-old Isabella Comas have seen her. Avondale police sharing with Fox 10 they believe Isabella is seriously injured. The search now extending into Gila County.
We've partnered with the Gila County search and rescue teams because we believe that may be a place where Isabella is. So we are working with them to locate her in that area. I can't go into precise locations about where she may be, but we are looking in that area.
Court documents reveal the evidence that led detectives across county lines. Isabella's boyfriend, 39-year-old Tommy Rodriguez, the only named person of interest in the case, has been charged with theft and criminal damage in connection with her vehicle. Docs show a person matching Rodriguez's description was seen on surveillance video in Globe, driving Isabella's car in the early morning hours of January 12th, the day after Isabella was reported missing by a friend expecting her to pick them up for work. That friend and Rodriguez himself spoke to police about an argument between the couple earlier that day. Rodriguez also reportedly had marks on his face that could potentially be defensive wounds.
We put all these circumstances together, the idea that Isabella was last seen in her vehicle, she was last known to be around her boyfriend, and that she had a fight with her boyfriend, and that's a circumstance that alerts us as well.
But it's evidence found inside Isabella's vehicle, which was located Tuesday back in Phoenix, that police say leads them to fear for her safety. When police processed the car, they found bloodstains in multiple locations. The car was missing the entire passenger seat, minus the headrest, the glove compartment, and the lining of the trunk. Trash bags, a tarp, gas canisters, and a bow and arrows were also found inside.
We saw items in the car that could be used to seriously hurt someone, and we also observed bloodstains in the vehicle. And believing that Isabella was the last one to be in that vehicle, that's what makes us so concerned for her safety.
PD says breaks in this case so far have been dependent on public response to the turquoise alert issued for Isabella, just as much as investigative technology.
A flock alert has been instrumental as well in connecting dots that we would not have had in this case. And once we found that vehicle, and once we found Isabella's phone, with all the help of the turquoise alert tips that we're getting in, we're able to progress through this investigation, and it continues to be urgent for us to find Isabella.
Okay, there's our Nicole Crassine's report, and we are obviously going to stay right on top of it. And then we have this other case where the FBI is now offering a $25,000 reward to solve the killing of an 8-year-old little girl, Molly Boone. Malika, she goes by Molly, and this was a turquoise alert situation. It was issued after Molly was reported missing last week in Coal Mine, just a smaller town on the Navajo Nation. Investigators say she left a family member's house, but something happened between that family member's house and her getting home. And it's a small community, so it had to be within a matter of blocks. And they're just urging people to come forward with tips.
Yeah, devastating. So hopefully that reward provides some incentive for folks who maybe are afraid to speak up, that might think they, know something or have something to share, that hopefully that incentivizes them to help out in this case.
Yeah, okay, and then we have some other unsolved crimes as well that are all kind of wrapped up in turquoise alert situations from the past. So we're going to continue to stay on top of it. We have all kinds of pictures to show you this morning of, now I don't know, this might be our mystery cam now that I think about it. We have had snowy situations from all over the USA today. This one actually is not all that snowy, but Des, this whole situation now with 200 million people are in the deep freeze, and they're telling people be ready for 3, maybe 4 days without power. Imagine that. Imagine how we all need power every day to get through. It's hard to imagine going more than a couple of hours without it.
Oh, absolutely. And what I like hearing those reports, like people back in the Northeast, for example, like my family, like everyone has a generator. And I was just thinking here in Arizona, I don't have a generator.
No,
I don't have a generator.
Yeah, right.
If something like that, we don't get weather events like we do there. So just to think of the ways that they have to prepare for something like that. So shelves are empty at the grocery store.
Yep. When you were a kid, how often would you guys have a storm bad enough that you would lose power?
Oh, it happened probably a handful of times. I remember.
Okay, like every 3 or 4 years type of a thing?
Yeah, at least. And then at one point, I remember going to my aunt's house a couple times before my parents were able to get a generator.
Okay.
We'd go over there because they had one. And that was at least 2-3 times in my childhood.
Really?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys were able to handle the snow on a regular basis, because you'd get probably a dozen snowfalls a winter, as a guess.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Maybe 15 or 20. I mean, if you want a snowy town,
dozen.
Buffalo's the
10,
place to go. So anyway, I just feel for the people who are going to be flying over the next few days.
I know.
I have a feeling it's just going to be chaos.
I know. It might be better to just plan ahead if you're going to the East Coast, and if you can plan around it. Yeah, right. It's dangerous. You don't want to fly into any of that.
Hey, by the way, speaking of flying, this story does about the number. The TSA's come out with their top 10 list. How about the guy who tried to hide bullets in strawberry Nesquik?
I'm sorry, what? Like, why the Nesquik?
I know.
What did you think the Nesquik was going to conceal?
And then you see the knife in a child's car seat. I think they were going to spot that one.
Don't be using your kids like that.
The turtle is the one that has everybody talking, because there were 2 turtles discovered inside this one lady's bra and pants. I don't know. I mean, you go through these metal detectors. They make you put your hands up, over your head. They're going to see turtles. They're like, ma'am, do you have turtles? Do you mind if we search you?
Like, no, they're just my implants. Like, what?
What is happening?
I'm really unique there.
Yeah.
I mean, and look, they're all taped up. But look at the head was still like coming out. Isn't that going to suffocate the turtle?
I know.
No.
And then from Boise, their number one, they said, you just saw it there, were replica explosives. Who goes to the trouble of creating fake explosives and then trying to get them through? I mean, I hate to suggest there's something sinister going on, but they're like testing out the system. It's at the Boise airport, which is like America's 50th largest airport. I have no idea what was going on there, but hey, by now we all know the rules. We can't bring our toothpaste on, but there's a few other things you should avoid, obviously, like the turtles.
All of it. The bullets, not the Nesquik.
I know. Then what happens is it just slows everybody else down in line.
Yeah.
So we're not on board with that. Hey, we are really looking forward to an interview with somebody who, if you are on social media very often, or even if you watch all the various channels here, Vanessa Ramirez is here.
Yeah, we're so excited to talk with her about her 15th annual Frank Ramirez Breathe to Believe fundraiser. It's all in honor of her dad.
Yeah.
She's going to share his story.
It's coming up. Here is the mystery cam. Yeah, we got you a preview of it. I'm thinking, where in the country are they lacking snow? Because this is one of the rare places. Give us your guesses. We'll be right back. All right. Hey, so here's our mystery cam, and it's a chance for you to give us your guesses. So Vanessa joins, by the way. So we're just going to bring Vanessa in right now. Hello,
oh my gosh,
Vanessa.
are you going to put me on the spot with the mystery cam?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, you can give us a guess too. But see, now we have everybody like Halakita saying North Carolina.
Oh my gosh.
Y Gold is saying Washington State. Burger Boys is thinking Alabama, probably because there's almost no snow. Well, I don't know. Yeah, Chef Nick.
Chef Nick.
Oh, they're talking about snow. Okay.
Right.
Me, I would think local. I'd be like, oh, this is in Arizona, so maybe Flagstaff. I don't know.
Yeah, sure, right. For
Because
sure.
I'm in Arizona all the way.
Okay, so James is like, we've had 6 inches. It's melted off within a day or two, and the weather's been 45 degrees. I'm trying to remember where James is, but that's the thing.
I don't remember.
Now that we're on YouTube, you know, we got people that watch really all over the world. So.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, what's your guess, Vanessa?
I don't know. Well, I said I was thinking.
Go with the home state.
Home state. I was saying Flagstaff, but compared to everybody else's answers, I don't think that's right.
Okay.
I never get this right, so don't feel bad. It's
okay.
I'm just going to pick, I'll go with Louis today.
Oh,
yeah,
Louis?
Colorado. That sounds about right there
Yeah.
with that picture.
I feel like it could be somewhere up in the Great Northwest, kind of up in my home territory there. But I'm looking around the mountain. Well, now, there's a kind of a North Carolina feel to it. Now that I don't know if you guys have ever driven the Blue Ridge Parkway.
No.
Say that I have.
Okay. I'm looking around like crickets.
I'm like, sorry.
I think I was going to go northwest like in Idaho, but I think I'm going to go with North Carolina. There's something about those beautiful valleys off in the distance that speaks to me.
All right.
All right, so Des.
Halakita, that's Halakita's guess. Or Vanessa, do you want
Wait,
to do
I was going to say, when do you reveal the answer?
Right here.
Right now.
Oh my gosh, what if I...
Oh, here we're going to you're going to
Wait,
do the
there's
honors.
what if I don't even know this town?
Uh-huh.
What did you say earlier?
North Carolina.
Oh, did you know the answer?
I have a little problem with a map that's embedded in my brain, Vanessa.
Vanessa, he's right like 9.5 out of 10 times.
Waynesville,
Yes.
North Carolina. Okay, there it is.
Okay. Well, ding, ding, ding to you. Yay.
Yeah, that's our little commercial for getting all the way out there and driving the Blue Ridge Parkway. Yeah. There are all these just like picture perfect little towns in the Great Smoky Mountains.
Guessed correctly too with North Carolina.
All right,
A
congratulations.
little philosophy in our chat this morning says, "Hola, Vanessa."
Hey.
Nice. How
Good
long
morning.
did you work at the Competitor at Channel 12?
Oh,
this is how people know you.
Oh my goodness, we're bringing it there.
Because you're not there. You're not there anymore. But that's how people really kind of got to know you.
I know. Well, I've been in the TV, entertainment, radio world for 20 years.
Yeah.
I know. I started when I was 11. I did radio. I've been with the Arizona Diamondbacks for 20 seasons.
Yes, that's amazing.
So this coming
They
up is
love
our
you.
20th season. And then over there across the way in downtown, I was with them for 11 years. At the
Okay.
other station,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I started off as a reporter, and then I became their traffic anchor, and then I went to their lifestyle show.
Yeah. So, and then you've left, and now you're on your own, but you're like the queen of social media here in town. What are you doing now?
Yeah, so I am collaborating with businesses, kind of like an influencer, but I like to say that our work is a little more commercial-like, right? So the videos that we put together, I have my business partner, Brennan. He does it with me. He was actually at the other station, and we left together to do this. And so we put these fun, creative videos together for social media for our clients. And it's just like, we're branding. I'm a brand. So we've built that brand. And then now these businesses are promoting on my social channels to get the word out. So like with Lerner Row, I'm with them, and they wanted to connect with the West Valley, and that's originally where I'm from.
Sure,
I'm from West
grew up
Phoenix. Yes, I went to Maryvale. Whoop, whoop. And so in Grand Canyon University, everything West, And so I was like, yeah, I think this is a perfect fit. We've been working together for 2 years, and I love working with them. They're amazing, and they give back to the community in so many ways, and that's what I love the most.
Wow. And how was the transition for you? I mean, leaving news away from something you've done for so long, what was that like?
Well, it was nice to have a little break, right? Because we all know, being in this business, there's a lot of grind and hustle and crazy hours.
And lack of sleep.
Yes. Yeah. And so when I was working the morning show as a traffic anchor, I was still doing the Diamondback games. So I would get like 3 hours of sleep a night.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was brutal, but I loved what I did, and I did it, for 6 years that way until I transitioned over to the lifestyle show. And So that, I think it's just slowing down a little bit is nice. So that transition was welcoming. I was like, okay, it's time for me to slow down a little bit and just breathe and enjoy my life, go to the gym, get normal hours of sleep, and, work on content that is fun and creative and like just having freedom.
And in the meantime, you have an event that you started shortly after your dad passed. What was there a moment where you and your family were going through the grieving process and all of a sudden maybe you said to yourself, wait a minute, there's a way I can honor my dad and really help advance the fight against cancer? Was there a moment like that?
Yeah, and actually it was immediately, because when my dad passed away, it was such a shock. I'm an only child, so it's me, my mom, and dad, and we were this team. We did everything together, even picking the paint on my wall at my house, right? So it took all three of us to do it. So when we got the news that it was terminal and he only had a short time to live.
And you were how old at the time?
Oh my gosh, we're going to date myself. When he passed, I was 30. So still, I wasn't in the news business yet. I haven't been married. I don't have any kids, still haven't. But it was just thinking of those things like, wow, my dad's not going to be here for any of that. So I started to get sad, but I was like, no, this is not. He wouldn't want me to be sad. He would want me to continue moving forward. So I did pour into work. I became a workaholic because of that. But I was like, I'm going to use my platform to create something meaningful and to keep his memory alive. And so it was literally right after. I'd say we did the event for our family while he was still alive, and then I started it immediately after. So he passed away in December, and then we created it for everybody in January for his birthday. So his birthday is January 20th, and so it's kind of like a birthday celebration, and that's why we started it. And because I didn't want other people to go through what we went through. Like, it's awful, right? It's changed my world forever. Like, I still have moments where I break down and I think about him, and it's just, I'm constantly talking about him, and he's on my mind every day. And so it's like, to have another family go through what we went through, it's just, I don't want that to happen. So I immediately started this fundraiser, and it's got bigger and better every year.
What was the hardest part of that journey? Obviously, having, coming down with cancer in and of itself is difficult. But what did you find the hardest part? Was there enough support for your family? Was there enough support for you?
Well, being an only child, I took on the role of making sure everything was okay, right? Because my dad was the man of the house, so he did everything. So if I had a flat tire, I'd be like, Dad, come help me. He's like, okay, Mija, I'll be right there and I'm going to come save you. And I'm like, okay. And so now I couldn't pick up the phone and call him. And so that was so hard. And I'm like, I could not imagine any other family members not calling their dad or not calling their parent for support. And so my mom and I did have a lot of support. However, the thing that I do like to promote during my fundraiser too is being proactive about your health, because my dad had symptoms early on, but he kept canceling his appointments. His doctor's appointments. And then one day he coughed up blood and he got scared. So finally he went to the doctor. They did a biopsy, and that's when they told us it was stage 4 non-smokers lung cancer, and it was terminal.
Wow. So what was he experiencing that he was ignoring?
He thought he had bronchitis. So he went to the doctor multiple times prior to that, right? And they gave him a Z-Pack. He did 2 Z-Packs and it didn't go away. So after that, he's like, well, I tried the meds. It didn't go away. I'm just going to leave it. So he left it. And my mom's like, no, you need to go back. Like, even though you took 2, antibiotics, like, you still need to go back and get checked. Maybe it's something else. He's like, nah, I'm fine. So let it go for months. And then, like I said, that's when the blood happened, and it scared him. But it was already too late, So during my fundraiser, I do promote that. We have a special guest that comes in every year that has unfortunately been through that experience with cancer, but they have, they're out now, and everything's healthy. So they come share their story and why it's so important to be proactive about your health. And so we have someone coming this year that is sharing her breast cancer story. And then it just hits home to everybody watching, right? And I think, like, even though it's been so many years for my dad, like, I still, when I'm talking about him, the passion comes through. And I think my guests are like, oh, she's right. Like, why would I want to put my kid through this? Like, why, if something's wrong, I need to go get checked. So that way my daughter or son isn't going through what Vanessa went through.
So I can resonate, because my uncle passed away from cancer. He had stomach issues, and by the time he went in, his tumor was the size of a melon, and he was gone months later.
Wow. So it's like, if they go in and get checked early, maybe they can catch it early and do their chemo, radiation, or do surgery, and then they can live a longer, healthier life. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the event itself, because, people who, the whole idea, I think, to have you on today is to maybe let people know there's this great event. It honors your dad, but just people who maybe they've got somebody in their family who's dealt with cancer, something. What will you experience if you come out this weekend?
Okay, so if you come out, it's Sunday at Cancer Support Community, which is on 3rd Street in Palm. It's a family fun-filled day. We have something for everyone. We have bounce houses for the kids and special guests like Baxter and some other characters. We've had people like Luis Gonzalez and Tom Chambers come out.
Fun.
Yeah, they all come out and support the community. We have Joey Boy. He's on the radio. He helps MC with me. But what I really love about it is just, and I've had a lot of people that are battling cancer or their family members are dealing with cancer and they come to the event. So it's just for a moment for them to forget about that hardship that they're going through at that time and just to understand that they can have a great time, but also are impacted by the stories we share. Also, there's the recipients on site, the cancer organizations on site sharing their information. So let's say someone needs counseling, but they don't know where to go. Well, then Joybus is on site, or the American Cancer Society is on site giving information out to everyone. So this year, the recipients are Joybus, which they provide healthy meals for cancer patients, and then American Cancer Society, which provides research and support, and then Cancer Support Community does support as well in classes and yoga and even counseling for family members. And then Lump Busters, it's a smaller organization, but they help support financially. Let's say someone can't pay their light bill or their mortgage, they help and assist with that.
That's amazing.
So
and sometimes it takes that connection, hearing someone else has a similar story for you to feel comfortable in seeking the help that you need.
And you don't have to run a marathon.
No,
you don't have to get on your bike and ride 48 miles or anything like that. You just come and have a great time. And if you want to be able to donate, you can. But otherwise, you got resources.
Yes. And so, I mean, it's super fun. We have a live band. We have 2 food trucks. We have Randizzles and Spuds Buds. And so they're serving up hamburgers and big potatoes with amazing toppings. And then we have the bounce house for the kids. We have, like I said, the special guest coming to share her story. But there's just so much good energy. And we do have a special entertainment deal going on, but you have to be there to see it and feel it. But I've just heard so many great things when people leave. They're like, I just feel so good. And you're also helping a great cause at the same time, right? And so it's just a win-win for everybody. Unfortunately, like I said, I can never bring my dad back ever, but I don't want other people to go through what we went through. So it's so much fun. Like,
there it is, 10:30 to 2:30 this coming Sunday, 3rd Street and Palm Lane, Cancer Support Community.
And I'm thankful for the companies that come out and support because they believe in this fundraiser, and so they sponsor every year, and I appreciate that too because we couldn't do it without them, right? So we got Lerner and Rowe, we got Collision Experts and Jimbo's, all these people. I talk to them and they're like, "We're in, Vanessa, we got it, we're sponsoring you." So I appreciate them, and it's just an amazing day.
Amazing, and we'll see you there in your Believe shirt.
Yes, I have another one, so we do a new one every year. My cousin, he